Hey everybody, Trisha Howard, aka Trisha Kicks Sass here, and welcome to the 6th installment of Dramatically Reading Cold Sales Emails Explained. If this is your first time to this part of the series, I take the emails that I read last week, break them down, talk about what was good, what could have been improved, and how to potentially increase your response rate. So as a general note, I'll be honest, this was actually one of the better email series that I've seen that we've talked about on this channel before. I think the biggest thing that was just kind of irritating was just how many they got in a short amount of time. The person who sent me these emails requested that they remain anonymous, so I will be referring to them as Hamilton. So I'm calling this one Ghosted Tinder Bro. Hey, Hamilton. I'm looking to speak with the person over at your company who's responsible for ensuring that the code written by your developers does not contain any security weaknesses or code quality issues. Could you point me in the right direction? Thanks. So all in all, I actually really like this first message. It's very short. It explains what they were looking for. The personalization was good, but not too much. Genuinely, I think this was actually a pretty good email. I know this is a sales tactic that is taught, which is, hey, can you help me out here? Can you point me in the right direction, etc. In this particular case, that's not necessarily a bad thing because the person the emails were sent to, their LinkedIn does not have a ton of information on it. So it actually kind of makes sense. Just something to think about. If you are going to take that approach, it's fine. Just make sure that you've done your research ahead of time. Like for instance, if you had two people on LinkedIn, one who is the person that you reached out to, who has a pretty generic manager, VP, whatever title, and then you have another person who says Director of Application Security, they're probably the better person to reach out to. Do you see what I'm saying? Hey, Hamilton, I know how busy you are. I was just hoping you might have a moment to comment on my note below. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. P.S. I'm in sales and I can handle the rejection, Let me know if I should get out of your hair for now. This particular line made me laugh a little bit. I'm in sales and I can handle the rejection. And I laughed honestly as a personal note because when I interviewed for my very first cold sales position, they asked me, they said, this is a very, very intense role. People can get very ugly. They can get mean. How do you handle yourself in these situations? And I literally said, listen, honey, I'm an actress, so I am very used to the rejection. So that just kind of made me laugh. I get what they're going for here, which is, hey, it's okay that if you don't need my stuff, and this is a trend that happens throughout the rest of the messages too. Here's the deal. The person you are emailing completely cold does not owe you any sort of response. While it may seem like you are being, kind of jokey and, oh no, it's okay if this isn't for you, blah, blah, blah. They don't need your permission not to respond to you. It actually comes off a little like you are telling me that I owe you my time. However, this is super nitpicky stuff. All in all, I feel like the series is pretty decent. Hey, Hamilton, after my first two emails, I hope I haven't crossed that fine line between persistence and annoyance, but others who head up software development who I speak with often mention that their current tools often yield a high number of false positives, resulting in developers ignoring results altogether. So I don't want to assume this is true for your team, but if reducing the number of false positives would be beneficial, when do you have 10 minutes to discuss? Thanks. I actually really like this email. I kind of wish that this email was the first email. Here's why. It discusses a problem. It discusses something that is actually in their language. Is this something that happens to you? Is this something that you are dealing with? I love that. I think this is great. And if your solution can actually solve this problem, there is a genuine reason for you to be reaching out to them. talk to your marketing department, look at your blogs, your collateral, your content that they might have. You might already have this, but maybe not. Maybe talk to them and say, hey, can we do a survey that shows that, 95% of our customers, the reason that they went with us was because of false positives, etc. Because then instead of you coming off as this annoyingly persistent salesperson, you're saying, hey, I have heard from people that this is actually a problem. Here is my article to back it up, right? Is this something that you're facing? When you're sending a series of emails, by the time you've gotten to the third email, unless it is something that they genuinely didn't see, or they saw it and they meant to respond and they didn't, now you are going to start annoying them. Don't wait until the third one, because by the time you get there, even if it is something that they might actually get value out of, they're going to be like, oh, this person again. Why are they emailing me again? I haven't sent anything back. All 4 of these emails were in like the span of around a week and a half to 2 weeks. That is so much. Think about it from your own personal perspective. Say that you have never met this person and they email you asking for coffee, right? They want to have coffee with you. And then they continue to do that every 3 to 4 days for 2 weeks. You're going to get annoyed. So why are we doing this whenever we're dealing with our sales practices? Hey, Hamilton, I'm beginning to feel like a pest. Should we set aside time to discuss the false positives that your team might be facing, or are you all set? Ugh. Either way, please let me know. Thanks. Now, this is something that I have been avoiding talking about, but it's come up in my last couple of emails, and that is ellipses. Adding in an ellipses just makes it seem kind of like pathetic, honestly. That's what ellipses, to me, makes it come out like, especially whenever you're just like begging for a response at this point. In closing, one of the things that I really hope that comes out of, for the few of you that actually do watch my videos, is recognizing how digital communication and in-person communication actually do intersect. We work at a company, there's a little bit of brainwashing, sometimes depending on the company, a lot of brainwashing that goes into how we look at our company and how we look at how we can help other people. So if you work for a product company, you're taught every single developer in the world has this problem. Well, that might not be true. Go and see what the community is actually saying, and then find a way to bridge that into actual value that you're providing the customers. Go talk to your marketing department. They might have some actual good collateral that proves what you are saying. You might be able to cut out a couple of these steps of people just not responding to your emails. I got quite a few comments throughout the series, and I've touched on it before, but I'm going to mention it here again. The idea that, oh, well, if they would just answer me, then I will stop sending emails. I used to respond to every single one of them. And I tell you what, I got more messages back whenever I said no than otherwise. So not everybody actually heeds that advice. So I recognize the knee-jerk reaction. Oh, if you would just respond to me, then I would, back off. And maybe you would. And if you would, good on you. That is awesome. It doesn't always happen. In fact, in a lot of places, it is taught that you just don't take the no. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next week. Bye.